Well, good evening, cigar professors. I'm going to have to turn myself down here. This is sadly probably the last time I'll be coming to you from this beautiful setting, this beautiful office that I have here, because unfortunately, well, on Monday, a lot of this equipment is going and it's going to be replaced with a whole new setup designed for in-person interviews and that sort of stuff. So, look, I'm going to make the most of my little smoking den while I can and enjoy that. Now, tonight we have a fantastic cigar, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Topher, that is the weirdest looking Johnny Tobacconaut I've ever seen. And you'd be right, because, not quite sure how to say this, it's not a Johnny Tobacconaut, because classic Topher, I didn't check the Dropbox spreadsheet before I decided that we were smoking the Johnny Tobacconaut tonight, and didn't follow Professor Damo's perfect plan, which was that we were going to have the Ave Maria Divina tonight and the Johnny Tobacconaut next month. Now, far be it from me to call into question the delicacies and the delectable degustation of cigars that Professor Damo has prepared for us. So, my bad. If you have grabbed this, then I apologize. Please put that away. Excuse me, if you have grabbed the Johnny Tobacconaut, put that away and grab one of these. Now, I'm having an audio issue, so I'm going to bring Professor Damo and Professor Omar on right now to get them talking for just a minute or two while I sort out my audio. Am I correct in believing that you can hear an echo?
I thought I heard a very slight echo, but nothing consistent.
Not too bad. Omar, can you hear one?
There is an echo that comes at the start and it disappears.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can sort this out. Damo, tell us about the stick.
All right. So we've already had the Ave Maria Immaculata, which has been a very good stick. It's well received, favourite of many of our subscribers. Many of them have bought those from our inventory. I don't even know if I've got very many left in our inventory. But I was actually planning a different Ave Maria this particular batch. I was actually planning the Ave Maria Reconquista. But after Omar and I did some quality assurance checking of our inventory.
And I was not invited, of course, as always.
Look, you choose not to be in Sydney. This is what you know, you got to be where the stock is.
This is why the rest of Australia thinks Sydney-siders are wankers. This is it right here.
Anyway, we felt as though the that particular stick needed more age on it, so I'm aging those away till they're a little bit better presented, and I quickly scrambled and acquired this particular one, Ave Maria Divina, and we've purchased them in these beautiful boxes, 5-pack boxes.
Let me get rid of that. Hang on. There we go. Right.
Absolutely gorgeous. Got metallic embossing on it. There's no metallic embossing on the actual picture of the wrapper there, but the actual whole front here is basically embossed and the same silver as per the wrapper on the cigar.
Yeah.
And then on the back, it's got a Latin prayer. If you want me, I can't, I'll be no good at saying the Latin, but I've got the translation. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among the women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Saint Mary, Mother of God, pray for all sinners now and at the hour of their death. So,
well, you can't say they're half-hearted about their brand theme, can you? Like these guys have really gone boots and all onto this Ave Maria kind of theme.
I assume they must be Catholic, given the amount of Catholicism it's in amongst all their branding and the literature and the wordings and stuff that they put on their boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the one thing they definitely do ridiculously well on some of their sticks, I'd say they're more premium sticks, is just the detail on the branding and the presentation.
The presentation is
gorgeous.
I won't say second to none, but it's right up there amongst the best in the industry. The other thing that you've got to respect them for is the build quality. Their construction, as per the name of one of their cigars, tends to be immaculate. They tend to do a very, very good job. Now, Omar, did I see you lighting something up just a minute ago, literally after the show started? Like
No, that's cigar is going, and I'm half the way through.
a pre-show cigar is one thing. Oh, they're nice. The La Aurora. A pre-show cigar is one thing, but like lighting up a different cigar, like how long do you think my introduction is going to be? Do you think I'm going to be sitting here talking for 45 minutes so you can finish that thing?
Just annoyingly boring. So I thought, you know what, this is what I want.
Well, that's a given. That's a given. Now, Dan is quite right. The smell of the cigar is truly divine. It absolutely is. And I'm looking forward to this very, very much. I've had this cigar in a different Vitola. I don't believe I've had this in this particular Vitola before. So I'm looking forward to this.
Beautiful. Taste of cold draw.
Yeah. Draw is actually perfect. It's just perfect. And I'm a massive fan of box press cigars. I think they're packed, they held well, they hold well, and they just smoke well. I never had a bad box press, unfortunately. So looking forward to it. But the man behind Cigar Man Sam and I were talking about AJ
Matt
Fernandez.
Booth. Oh, AJ Fernandez. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we switched cigars. Sorry. My head was still on the Room 101.
Yeah. AJ Fernandez is one of those characters that he got to fame at a very young age. He was just born with this ability to blend, roll, and do things with the leaves that, you know, that not many people achieve in the late 40s and 50s. That he was doing it since he was earning a stripes at early 20s. Very, very good. Good stuff.
All right. Well, Mr. Stew is saying that Omar and Damo are quiet, so I'm just going to turn myself down here and see if that balances things out. All right, is that a little bit better? Has that brought my volume down a little bit there, Mr. Stew? And good evening, Cigar Man Sam. Welcome. Always a pleasure to have you on board.
Hey, Sam. Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. Omar, you make a good comment about the box press, and I hadn't really thought about it much, but as I think about it now, I think, well, I absolutely love things like the KO 554 Flathead, which is a box press. My favorite Vitola of my favorite cigar, which is the Oliva di Milanio, is a box press. So actually, I think you might be right. There might be something to that box press thing. I hadn't really thought about it specifically before.
Figurado is a box press.
In the figure, yeah. And the one that I like is there. It's essentially number 4. I can't remember what they call it. I'll take that as a yes, Mr. Stew, that has balanced the audio out a little better.
The also other one that I amongst all the Davidoffs that smoked, the Davidoff Nicaragua box press is an absolute fantastic. So
yeah,
the box press, don't do it often. It's a harder one to roll, but once you get them, man, you know this is it.
Yeah, they're a beautiful stick.
Absolutely. Met straight off the bat. This has an absolutely beautiful mixed spice, bakery, nutty sweetness, all into one pot. Boom.
I don't know the name of it, but in some continental bakeries, they make these like little biscuits. They look like little bread loaf type shapes, but they're actually a biscuit, hard, dry biscuit with like a glaze on top, and it got sesame seed on it. It's like a dry, crunchy. I honestly don't know the name of them, but I've had them long time ago. That's flavor memory just came flooding back into my mind from that first puff. And not only that, full mouthful of smoke on the very first puff.
Yeah,
incredible.
Always nice.
Yeah, super incredible. I think that mixture of mild nuttiness, bakery, drier dough, not so biscotti type, but like more of a it's like a harder biscuit type, and it's like a very so mild and small nuances of spice in it. Could be cinnamon, but it's sweet. It's not spicy, it's sweet. It could be ginger. It's just sweet. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this is a beautiful opening. I'm a big fan of cigars that can open a little bit mild and then build and give you a bit of journey over the course of the cigar. But of course, as you smoke more cigars, you tend to want the bowl of flavor. So I'm enjoying the fact that there's substance there. There is real flavor there, but beautifully smooth. There's nothing harsh. There's nothing's attacking my soft palate. Nothing really to cause you to cough. It's just a beautiful smooth. The smoke is velvety. Flavors are really well integrated. How long have you had these for, Damo? You were saying the way this came about, you haven't had these for long.
No, I did get these in. I was trying to beat the tax hike in September, and I think I just missed it. It literally missed it by a few days. So I've had it since literally the 3rd September, something like that.
Yeah, okay. So, 7 months or so in our possession, and then who knows how long they've been around before. But a beautifully integrated flavor. For me, it tastes like a cigar that's had a year or two of age put on it.
Yeah.
So a little bit about this cigar. It is a Habano sun-grown wrapper of Nicaraguan origin, and the binder and the filler is also Nicaraguan. So it's a Nicaraguan Puro. It's the fillers are actually Cuban seed grown in Nicaragua, and this cigar has a reputation of delivering some Cubanesque notes through its smoking. So it'll be interesting to see whether we get any of those on the cigar tonight.
If there is any tang as we go through.
Yes, this is good. Look, there's nuances of, obviously, apart from the tang of what I'm getting is Edge Upman, very much so Edge Upman, and somewhat D4 as well, a little bit of D4, but this Upman type, cedar, sweet cedar type, light spice. It's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
I just accidentally retroed. It's a little bit sharp on the retro this early in, so I wouldn't advise it just yet.
Or is that just your sinuses haven't been conditioned yet? Give them a bit more time with the ambiance in the room.
Well, actually, I'm fighting a sinus infection at the moment as well, so maybe it's all the decongestants going on up there as well.
Yeah.
The note that just Dan just put through this, saying that he's got a cinnamon donut, I think it's got a hardness of the cookie that Damo mentioned, but I can see the salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, sweetness. There's obviously a cashew-like nuttiness to it. But I think what's really cool is, in the end, you got a deep sweetness, like, I don't know, he was saying coffee, but I would say like molasses type sweetness, which is earthy sweetness. Off the center, boom, off you go. Very beautiful.
Well, I've gone for some Guinness tonight, and I've got to say they are playing very, very nicely together. This blend and a nice dark stout, very, very good combination, and of course the trusty black tea to go along with it. What are you guys drinking?
I am drinking chai, and I'm also drinking a lemon bitters, but it's actually with the tobacco bitters that I've got. So
how's that going?
It's quite nice, actually. Just sort of a little bit off the beaten track, and something a little bit more keeping with tobacco flavors. So,
well, you'd hope so. Tobacco bitters. Sorry, Emma.
I had a massive vegan meal, so I'm vegan now. I don't know if Damo advised you or not, but anyway, besides the point. So I had a massive vegan meal, which like 20-30% was the spuds, a bit of red caps, and the 98% of that kilo was all grass fed lamb. So the lamb, because been eating grass and stuff. So I believe in the 100% veganism.
Yeah.
After consuming that a kilo of that mince, I feel a bit like, so I thought with a bunch of eggs as well, I might add, I'm consuming coconut water, man. Just gonna stick to the vegan seed.
Yeah.
No,
that's really good. I've often said I'm not vegan, but my food is.
Yeah.
I don't eat anything that isn't vegan. So yeah, I think that's a good policy to have. I think, and look, good for you. I think you'll find some real health benefits there from eating all that vegan food.
Yep.
Yes, I totally agree. And Tim, mate, it's always a pleasure to have you on board. There's other two Muppets that just wasting our time, but hey, we gotta just kick it with them for a little bit just to pretend. Thank you.
I'm with Mr. Stew here.
He didn't hear the other bit about the veganism. That was lamb. That was 100% vegan lamb. So,
yeah. That lamb had never eaten another lamb. We can guarantee it.
Never, guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed. Guaranteed.
That's good. Chickens aren't vegan. That's true. But that's why I eat the eggs, because I haven't had the chance to eat anything else yet.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, that biscuit's been bugging me, so I've just been scrolling on the internet to try and work out what it is. I think it's koularakia, which is a Greek shortbread biscuit. So there you go.
Wow, that was heavy.
You found the name, and I'm still none the wiser. I still have no idea what you're talking about.
There we go. Well, one of our viewers might, Otherwise, everyone, go down to your local Greek bakery and ask for some koularakia.
Pronounce it exactly like that and watch them laugh.
Yeah.
Well, while you're there, you might as well also get some kurumbidis as well. They were always my favorite. They're the crescent shape dipped in icing sugar.
They are fantastic.
Biscuits. Yeah.
They are fantastic. So for me, though, they end up being too dry. I can't think of the name of them right now, but there's sort of a soft shortbread pastry biscuit that has a jam. So it's 2 layers of biscuit. The top layer usually has a shape cut out of the middle. It'll be a circle or a star, and jam in between the two. And I can't think of the name of them, but if I ever find those, I just have to buy all of them. I have to just empty the store, buy them all, put them in the car, and I tell myself I'll be a good boy. I'll have one a day, and then they're all gone by the end of the day. I can't. Once I have one of those things, that's it. They are all being eaten, and they're being eaten right now. I end up looking like a fat kid from a 1980s movie with that stereotypical like crumbs and everything down the front. That's me. I'm just double fisted stuffing these things into my mouth. I cannot say no. I don't even know what they're called, but I love them. So if you come across those at a bakery, try one of them instead.
Yeah. Well, Stu has give me the green signal. He's okay. He's all right.
The fact that you care about Stu's opinion, I think, is one of the most disturbing things about you, Omar.
You got to keep it cool with the boys,
The sweetness on this stick is almost honey and vanilla for me.
I just noticed a problem with the settings here. Let me just fix that. That's better. There, we can see less of Damo now. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We want that's the good one, isn't it? Yeah. All right, perfect.
Look, I was more going towards this type of sweetness, but honey, it's not much of a difference. Whether it's some molasses or honey, it's quite close. Your sinus is blocked. The whole thing is blocked. So I don't know what the heck you getting. I don't know.
So who we got joining us tonight besides Tim and Daniel?
We got Mr. Stu,
and
we
Sam.
got Tim, we got Cigar Man Sam, we got Daniel Moore, and then we have a number of mystery people that haven't commented yet. So feel free to jump in the comments, especially if you're watching for the first time. Let us know where you're from and who you are and what you're smoking. If you're not a subscriber, what have you grabbed? Tim.
There is on it. The guy's on it, man.
I was going to say, Tim, I thought we were friends, but honestly, I never thought of you that highly. So I guess that's fine then.
Only bearded man that can appreciate real man's intent and actions. I got you, Tim, man. I got you, man.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Dan's right here. Got to put Omar on the bottom screen and hide him instead, because it covers the bottom half. It'll just cover his beard. Like if we just
that is
Just give me a sec. Hang on. There we go. How's that? Omar, you've never looked so good. That's fantastic. It's just wiped 30 years off your age.
Don't you try to.
What have you done now?
I'm just mucking around.
Yeah. Get your hands off my controls, Omar. I didn't authorize you to drive. You didn't have your driver's license.
Yeah, not yet.
Now I'm getting a bit of a wonky burn, and I decided to ash it. I was just trying to get this to self-correct by smoking through it. I'm going to try for another minute or so, but if it doesn't start to correct soon, I am going to intervene on this.
Yeah, same.
So I'm having to eat my words a little bit about how
Yeah.
incredible the construction quality is. Of course,
Did you guys
Professor
try
Damo.
box before the show?
No.
I guess that saying "can't teach an old dog new tricks" is true.
Well, listen.
Listen.
Some of us are actually busy. We have lives. We have things that we need to do. We can't just be like sitting there lovingly caressing our enormous cigar collection all the time. Obviously, Omar's busy. He's smoking his cigar collection, and I'm busy because I actually have things to do. So it makes sense, Damo, that you'd have the time to do things like, going through, hand picking out the good one for yourself, sending the crap one to me, all that sort of stuff that you obviously do. That makes sense.
I try.
I tell you what. Sorry.
He's doing a good job. He's not trying. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's not trying. He's succeeding. Well, I hung out with someone today who gave me a cigar, and honestly, he might as well have given me a hand grenade. This thing was just an explosion waiting to happen, full of knots, plugged to start with. Then the wrapper just exploded. The cigar that they used to try and kill Fidel Castro, right? I'm pretty sure that this was one of the leftovers from that box. Like they made up the entire box. I reckon this is one of the leftovers. Isn't that right, Stu? Yeah, I'm going to touch this thing up. It is still burning. It's limping along, but I'm just...
Touch it up.
Yeah.
Well, that has just got such a beautiful, soft, silky, sweet flavor.
We talk about this sometimes, that when the smoke has texture, it's a weird thing to say, but when the smoke just has that beautiful lightness, but at the same time, it's not nothing. There's something there in the texture. And this is exactly that. It's not thick and heavy. It's still beautiful and light, but it's there. There's a texture there with it. Just really, for me, massively adds to the enjoyment. I don't know. It's just involved another sense or another, it has flavor, obviously, but there's just a different way of detecting it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's just got such gentle, little bit of pepper on the inhale. Just enough to know that it's got a peppery note there, but not enough to actually give you any sort of heat from the smoke itself. But then once you've exhaled, you sort of get that after texture of pepper in your mouth.
Yeah.
One of my favorite notes that we don't get anywhere near as much as I would have liked, given that we're burning these things, you'd think you'd get it a lot, is a slight campfire note. And if you just sit on the flavor for a good 10, 15 seconds, I find myself with it's a weird sort of a combination of it's like a lightly roasted oak or a fairly heavy hardwood. It doesn't have the sharpness of a cedar. It's like walking past where a campfire was yesterday, and there's just still that slight sort of waft of it there. I'm really enjoying that.
Almost just like the few hot embers that are still ticking on. Just that sort of slight hint of a fire still there.
Or just even your clothes the next day. A really good campfire with really good timber. The smell of your clothes the next day is fantastic. And it's almost like that, but in flavor form.
Yeah.
Did you end up touching up, Omar?
No, I didn't. I just kind of persisted with it. So
Yeah.
a little bit better.
I touched up and it's sort of trying to go straight back to being wonky again, but I don't want to touch it up again.
It's gonna because I'm outdoors and I think it's might be impacted by that as well.
Yeah, okay. I can't blame that. I'm well and truly indoors with the door closed. There's no air moving in here.
How's your audio? You were saying something about there's something going on there.
Yeah, so this earpiece here has gotten a bit tired and gotten a bit old, and the actual bit that sticks into my ear keeps popping off the pipe. So it's a piece of hollow pipe, and the speaker itself is actually this thing all the way down here that sits on my neck. So you can see the brown thing there. That's actually where the speaker is, and the rest is just hollow pipe. But this thing won't stay on it. So I've actually just got the pipe dangling next to my ear here. The reason it was echoing earlier was because I was using my computer speakers, but of course that feeds back through the microphone because I've got a really high quality microphone. So this compromise arrangement is working okay for me at the moment.
Gotcha. Cool. You've been smoking of late, Topher, since you got a little bit more free time?
No. Well, I have time. I don't have money. I still have to pay up for my last shipment of cigars. So no, I'm trying to go a little bit easy. Mooching off friends, scabbing off people. Naive people like Stu.
Just learning to be like Omar.
Correct. Yeah, I've really taken a leaf out of your book, Omar. No, I'm having to pace myself a little bit at the moment, just because money's a bit tight. Having just left one job, I'm earning, but obviously I'm doing corporate gigs and that sort of stuff now, where the pay cycle's a little bit slower. So I'll be right. It'll come good, but just for the minute, I'm not in a position to smoke through what's left of my collection and then go hat in hand to Stu, because I should probably pay my last invoice before I. It's just I'm not like you, Omar. I don't have that chutzpah just to go, hey, give me more. I just don't have that.
I don't live.
It's all right. Omar's already sold every one of his organs, so
it's not much left to sell.
There,
except one.
His beard.
Could you hurry up and sell your mouth organ?
Yeah.
We could do without that on the show.
I'm trying, but when I hear you talk, I'm like, no, man, that shit needs to go first. But yeah, we'll get there.
No, you're right. You hear me talk and then realize that no one would pay money for your mouth organ.
Mouth organ, yes, but tongue, it's good.
Yes, I am absolutely scabbing smokes.
Yeah, there's nothing new about that, is there?
Burnt caramel and sea salt. Well, I mean that matches a lot of the flavors. The salt I haven't detected myself, but certainly the caramel, the sweetness, the molasses has been there. That campfire burnt sort of flavor is definitely there.
Yeah, I could relate. Caramel equals. You'll be surprised, dude. You will be surprised.
No, we won't.
You would be surprised.
I just don't want to know. I don't want to be surprised. I just don't want to know.
Yeah. You don't want to know. Ask Damon. He will tell you.
Hey, what happens in Sydney stays in Sydney, okay?
Or what happens in the Shire stays in the Shire.
That too. I didn't realize this whole Shire thing was such a big deal until I was sitting having coffee after the morning after a conference that I spoke at a couple of weeks ago in Sydney, near King's Cross. And there was some, uni age people talking, and another friend joined them, and he'd ridden his bike from the Shire, and he just referred to it as the Shire, and everyone knew exactly what he was talking about. And I thought, oh, okay, so this isn't just a weird Omar and Damo thing. This is like actually a thing.
If you want to sort of fit in, you're supposed to pronounce it with like a sanctimonious tone in your voice.
The Shire.
Yeah, that's it.
So make it sound as close as possible to the Shah of Iran. The Shah.
Yeah. The royalty. Then I think this is top in a few of my lists. This cigar,
It is good.
it's up in some charts, man.
I've got to say, I'm enjoying it in this Vitola more than I did when I sampled it in the Morningstar Vitola, which is like a double perfecto
Yep.
type of Vitola that they had as a limited edition. They did 5 packs with 5 different blends in the Morningstar, and they were good. But I would say that this Vitola of this blend is impressing me a lot more.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same with when we get around to the Reconquista. Let me just pull up the Vitola on that one.
So Tim, this isn't Middle Earth. This is the real world. So it's only the intellectual midgets that live there. It's not actual physical hobbits that live in the Shire.
So the Reconquista is a 7-inch by 54 torpedo.
Yeah, nice.
So basically a Churchill. And by far, that is the only Vitola that well, apart from the Morning Star, which is like a little sampler so you can sample their range, the Reconquista is only made in that one Vitola. And without a shadow of a doubt, the full-size cigar is light years ahead of the small one in the Morning Star pack.
Yeah, right. It is funny how the different Vitolas make such a difference. Who was I discussing it with? I think it's someone who's watching the show. I can't remember. Discussing the Oliva V Milanio not so long ago, and the fact that, I bought a box of their box press torpedoes. I bought a box of their what do they call them? A double Corona or something. It was, it's not a Gordo, but it was a longer kind of a Vitola, and they were good. They were good sticks, but nothing compared to either that number 4, the box press number 4 that I mentioned earlier, or the other great one in the Milanio is the Lonsdale, which is just a fantastic smoke.
Lonsdale.
It's just funny to see. It really does come down to you find the blend that you like, and then you really do have to sample all the different Vitolas because it does make such a difference.
Massive.
And interestingly enough, with the Perdomo 10th anniversary champagnes, the Churchill is the one that ages the most spectacularly compared to the others. The others age all right, but then they get a little bit mute.
Yeah, they age out.
The Churchill just ages phenomenally.
Yeah, I would say that the aging process has, apart from Vitolas, has a lot to do with the leaf. The darker leaf age way nicer, way better, oiliness. And the lighter leaves like Connecticut, after that it just gets stale, even in Churchill. So I think that both probably matters, but I think the tobacco, the leaf itself, is a very dominant factor in aging.
It's like a white wine, red wine. You don't bother aging a white wine. It's there's nothing to age. There's nothing there. Red wines, of course, the right red wines can benefit enormously. It is interesting though. Obviously, with cigars, they can play with so much more because you've then got up to 5 different types of tobacco, depending on the blender and how they want to do it. Sometimes 6 in the case of a couple of brands. And then, of course, they can play with the ratios of each of those within the cigar as well. So there's just a lot more there. And it's one of the things I'm yet to explore as fully as I would like, but stuff that you two know a lot better than I do, is kind of following the blenders themselves. And I'm aware of the blenders, but actually going, hey, there's this blender who I like. I'm just going to find out everything that they've done and just sample, instead of sampling an entire brand, which I've done plenty of, saying I'm going to sample an entire blender and say, right, who's this, whether it's AJ Fernandez, that's a lot of cigars to sample, whoever it might be, you go, okay, if I really like this cigar from that person, let's find out what else they've done. That for me would be quite an interesting way to spend a year. Well, it has corrected now. Little bit of a wobble, but it's a lot better than it was.
That's good. It has a small change come through after the ash gone. Slight spice.
Ninja Turtles, Tim. Go and watch the Ninja Turtles. I mean, if we're crying out loud, just go and watch your turtle. That'd be more entertaining. Here's Tim trying to pretend he's heterosexual again.
Yeah, he's
trying to pretend.
Yeah, no, but Tim just.
If only the turtles were smoking cigars, like any decent action hero,
like any self-respecting turtle should.
You know, Clint Eastwood, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Listen,
Charles Bronson. You know, they all had stogies.
We keep throwing the cigarette butts into the ocean so that the turtles can look cool, but they just never take us up on the offer.
I know.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
And the Japanese even put more nuclear material in the ocean to give them more superpowers, but no.
Honestly, turtles are just letting us down on every front.
Mm-hmm.
They have been.
This is a very, very good stick. And I'm going to have to start thinking. We're only halfway through, but I'm actually going to have to start thinking about my top 10 list and whether this is actually perhaps going to get itself a spot on that list.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
this is really impressing me.
I said that about 15 minutes ago. This is
but no one listens to you.
Really good stick because there's nothing that I could say, oh, I don't like it, or you could be better. Whatever is blended, the way it's blended, the way it's smoking, it's pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, I got really good news tonight.
Mm.
My next door neighbour is looking at turning the office in his house back into a bedroom, so their kids can each have a room to themselves. Which means he's going to have to make his garage his office, and he's looking at gutting the garage, you know, insulating, gyprock, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to convince him to put a fireplace in there, a coffee machine, 2 lounge chairs, and you never know, I might end up with a new smoking location to do the show from.
Very nice.
I'll only have to go next door. So
a bit of cigar diplomacy.
Yeah. Look, I'll have to get a photo of your setup behind you there and just drop it as a bit of a suggestion to him as what his office could look like.
Does he have a suggestions box, or is that just the letterbox? You'll just sort of print out the photos and just sort of feed it into the letterbox.
Yeah. I'll put some like advertising on it. You know, considering a home renovation, new office.
Well, look, I mean, as nice as this is, it's sadly, it's all fake. It's typical Tinseltown television Hollywood BS. All fake.
Doesn't matter. It still looks good.
So's
Terminator, but you know, doesn't stop us like an Arnie.
True.
Speaking of cigars, the cigars that I basically tried hard to not think about it, but I think it's just a human behavior we have in a cigar. If we were to go back and listen to our top 10 list, it will be changes coming through. And the best one that usually we are smoking, that we go, oh my God, this is amazing. 10 months later, 4 months later, you know, it's just got a change in it. But I will say this. I've said that so many times for years now, that the most underrated cheap stick, not cheap, normal stick that is not considered to be a prestigious stick, is Leaf by Oscar. Those sticks are still my most underrated sticks ever, period. And they just never disappoint you. They would never disappoint you. There was a new kid on the block, and people were like, in America, were saying that, like Leaf by Oscar, he's trying hard. No. Leaf by Oscar is the most underrated stick, particularly the Vitolas that Damon got smoked. Those Lancero, man, just forget it.
There was one in particular, I don't remember which one it was, but there was one of them in particular where I wholeheartedly agree, and it would have a place in my top 10 without question. I'm almost. Was it? Okay.
Yeah, you like the.
Yeah, it's just absolutely fabulous.
Sumatra, Corojo, but both tops, they were just top. They were like neck to neck to me. They were really good. I mean, Cameroon and Sumatra are very similar, but yeah. So between that and the Corojo that you had, it was just up there. It was up there.
I would place this ahead of the Oliva V Milanios that were not the two Vitolas we just discussed. I would place this ahead of the Torpedo, ahead of the Double Corona.
Yep.
I would place this roughly on a par with the 554 Flathead that I mentioned earlier, which is it's a very different stick. Very different stick. It's I'm not going to say one of. It is my favorite. Gosh, my brain has just gone blank. Dark skinned cigar.
Maduro,
thank you. I don't know why my brain just went blank. That is my.
Oh, and he froze on us.
Yeah, he did. He's
perfect. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No.
As in, sorry for coming back. Just to be clear, I'm not apologizing for leaving. Yeah, I would put this alongside that. If they were sitting next to each other in my humidor, I would always be, which one am I going to reach for this time?
Yep.
I would say I agree with Topher because I love Olivas. I love Oliva Milanios. I love Oliva Milanio Maduros. I don't know if you guys have smoked them or not, but I went through a bunch of them. I think this has sweetness that Milanio doesn't have. It has those nuances of sweetness that is not in the other ones at all. It just makes it very, very pleasant. That sweetness is just so profound.
It's also got it's just a really smooth. This stick you could have any time of day, really.
Yeah.
Any stick you can have any time of the day.
We're not all you. But the other thing as well is you're spot on because it's not a demanding stick.
No.
You don't have to concentrate on it if you don't want to. The flavor is beautiful if you choose to really focus on it, but it doesn't demand your attention. You could play golf with this stick. You'd probably be doing it a disservice, but you could play golf with this and not have to think about it.
It's just, and it's beautiful. I think this is, if I could say this is a cigar smoker's Connecticut. So Connecticut is for beginners, but this is a cigar smoker's Connecticut, which is so beautiful that you don't have to do too much. You're going for gold. You're just chilling. You're kicking back. It's beautiful.
So Stu asked an interesting question here. Stu, I don't know that I could compare them. They're two entirely different cigars. I would reach for this over the White Churchill pretty much every single time.
I'd agree.
Yeah, but they are two entirely different cigars. The White Churchill is probably one that you could hand to a beginner with a bit more confidence. You could probably hand this to most new cigar smokers.
Yes.
It wouldn't be your first choice to hand to a new cigar smoker, but if it was what you had, you could hand it to them and you're not going to put them off. It's not going to, it's not going to blow them away. But a comparison to the White Churchill, there kind of isn't one. This is a better stick, and I think much better stick for an experienced smoker, as good as the White Churchill is.
Yeah. Look, I would love White Churchill, and my only concern with White Churchill is, if you guys remember,
hang on. Did you mean Wide Churchill?
Yeah, White Churchill. Yes, he wrote. But he obviously
I was thinking of the white label that we had for Christmas. That's the cigar.
Well, that's what I thought Stu was talking about.
Yeah. So Stu, can you clarify?
That's what he's got listed on his screen. There's white.
Yeah. Are you talking about the what is that? That's the
Monte Cristo.
Yeah, Monte Cristo white
or the
Romeo
and Julieta
wide Churchill. Yeah, because I was talking about the White Churchill. This is a much better stick than the White Churchill. The Wide Churchill we've talked about a lot before. If it's on, it's on. It is a fabulous stick, but it's
always on. The thing with the Wild Churchill is it's not always on.
Correct, 100%.
The last one we smoked, they were like, am I having a Nicaraguan stick or what am I here? What am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird experience to sit there with these
Strange.
Cubans and be like,
That's my strangest cigar experience ever.
yeah, I agree.
Nothing to do with Cuban cigar. This is more Cuban cigar than that Cuban cigar that we had.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah, weird one. We still haven't got to the bottom of that.
The RJ.
Well, I
Yeah, he's
think we
talking about
know
the
the
RJ.
answer to that one. Ooh.
Look, if I was spending my money on a box, I'd pick a box of these because I would have more confidence that I was actually going to get a good smoking experience.
Every
Yeah.
time. Forget it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Ah,
Oh, different story. Someone tells me that you get a box of Wild Churchill circa 2012, 2013. I will pick that. I will pick that. But if you say just rolled in 2020, no aging, Cuban government just rolling them out like bicycles. Yeah, sure.
You know, the best year for the wide Churchills was 2009.
Yeah. Look, even that up until 15, I had some wonderful, wonderful six. Up until 14, 15 boxes in there that time. They were absolutely, dude, like another level of sticks.
Well, you know those those ones we had, and people were stopping and wanting to know what on earth was smoking. They were 2009.
Oh, they were pretty good.
Mm.
Wow. You got any left, dude?
No, I wish I did.
Oh man.
It's as if he would tell you that he did, Omar.
And we had a Shire people. We stick together.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit. You said Shire people, you sleep together.
Yes.
Right. That's what I thought I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. We do. Someone seems like someone is jealous.
No. It's just that's what I expected to hear, and I was just confirming that you'd said what I expected.
That's right. Men with beard are fine. This women looking /men/T/Q. No problem. Oh, that was a bit of a. That was
nice.
Yeah.
Men with beards are fine,
and a nice slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your depth of field focus on the camera work there, gorgeous.
Yeah. No, I've got my full production crew in here with me. I've got my focus puller. He's doing a good job.
Speaking of cigars, I've had the pleasure to be in Damo's bedroom where his humidor resides. You got some beautiful sticks, and I do admire them.
His personal humidor for only for his closest of companions.
Yes.
It's really got an absolute gorgeous aftertaste in the mouth after it, isn't it?
It's honestly, there are occasionally cigars that even your loved ones don't object to you having smoked when they smell you afterwards. And I'm going to be curious about this one because I feel like this would have to be a candidate. This would have to be a candidate for a good smelling cigar.
Yeah.
Look, I thought I must have said it off the cuff accidentally about 20 minutes ago. The more I'm getting into this cigar, I'm like, man, I don't want you to be finished. I just want you to keep on going. Don't stop on me. Don't stop on me.
Yeah, beautiful. And I'll say as well, Damo knows my coffee tastes fairly well. I go for kind of that earthy, that really kind of, Damo's 100% chocolate, how it has that almost, it's not powdery, but it has this kind of dry, earthy sort of flavor profile to it. And I'm really enjoying that with this. It's not earthy in the sense of manure and barnyard. It's earthy in the sense of just this, I don't even know what word to use. It's this beautiful, dry cacao kind of earthiness just sitting there underneath all the other flavors.
And that's
why it's got like a residual taste of a milk coffee as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe. But what I'm getting with what Topher saying is, this is where I was thinking about molasses and coffee. That combination just there. Molasses means earthy sweetness, and plus a coffeeness or a cacao, whichever way you want to go. Just boom, it's just there. Left.
Yeah, beautiful stick.
I just got a little point. This is we're just getting to the nitty gritties now. Cigar used to be Vitolas up to 44, 46. That was a standard of cigars for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
Now, those box presses just resonate with that particular Vitola. They kind of, it's good to have it. You leave it in your mouth and you're carefree. That's what Topher was talking about. You know, if you don't go down, ask you to pay any attention to it. It's just gone. It's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
Whereas something like a Lonsdale, I love the smoking experience. I love the flavor profile, but you've got to be willing to pay more attention. You've got to be able to give it some of that focus because heat management is a little bit trickier in the narrower ring gauge. If it starts to get wonky on you, you've got to act pretty quickly. You just have to give it that little bit more attention. And so that's great for if you're going to sit down and enjoy a cigar and you're going to actually focus on it a little bit more. But this just doesn't need any of that.
Another point that I've just somewhat realized, it doesn't feel like it's really heavily packed, but it is. This is how it's rolled. This is how it's rolled. It's so you say, okay, it doesn't feel like it's heavily packed because it's softness to it, but it's actually burning really slow. We're almost like an hour through it, and it's beautiful. No bitterness, no harshness, none of that. Yeah, Mr. Stu made a very interesting point. He's saying that just explain the mocha. Yes, I'm with you, man. And the earthiness of mocha resonates. And the coffee that you were talking about, it's a very Colombian style, earthy, sweet coffees. And I'm with it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this if I was having a slow Saturday morning, I would sit on the balcony with this and a morning coffee. And that would be just about the best way you could start your day.
I got another interesting point to make. One of the guys that I learned a little bit about cigars in America, his name is Mike, met Castro and whatnot. He's ex-Marine and smokes cigars 6 minimum to 10 a day. Owns a largest cigar shop in the southern part of America in Atlanta. Was chatting to him and I said, dude, what do you smoke every day? He just said, man, I don't have a lot of money. He goes, I smoke AJ Fernandez, New World, Cameroon. I said, bingo, that's one of my favorite. And done by both people, box press, very, very, very similar. A bit better. It's another step up or maybe 2 steps up. But AJ Fernandez, box press, New World, Cameroon, and this, a lot of correlation. And this is better. This is better.
Well, it is better, and it's interesting that it's not a Cameroon; it's a Cuban seed, and yet you're absolutely right. I hadn't the word Cameroon hadn't floated through my head yet, but this is
Cameroon.
Sorry,
the chocolatiness of Cameroon.
It's
there. Yeah, coffee cacao of Cameroon, which is my favorite wrapper of all times. It is. It feels like it is that.
Yeah,
it's just done so well. So. Hats off to AJ Fernandez, man. Mr. Abdullah Fernandez.
Far out.
Well,
I'm getting a little bit of a citrusy note in here at the moment, so I can see where they might have been suggesting those Cuban-esque flavor notes coming in.
It reminded me of Upman at the beginning as well as
at the beginning. Now. Yeah, in the opening.
Yeah. Well, I've got it here at the moment.
Yeah, right.
There I said, boys, it has been at least good 6 months, maybe more, where we actually consistently didn't talk about anything else but the freaking cigar. So there has been, if you go back all the episodes of Cigar Professor, you probably would see, as if my memory serves me correctly, we were not stopping. We're just going onto the cigar, onto the cigar, onto the cigar. Like, oh, this and this and this and this, fantastic. Hasn't happened in a long, long time, I must add.
Well, probably if we were to do to get AI to watch every single show back throughout history, firstly, it would probably commit suicide. But then if we could find one that didn't, and it could categorize what we talked about, I suspect that Omar's beard would probably be the #1 topic. It would think that it's a show about Omar's beard that occasionally has some cigar content in it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Omar's beard does have cigar content in it.
Well played.
You know, it has a prominent cigar content.
You know how hippies will like tie things into their beard and just have weird kind of stuff? It's amazing that Omar doesn't have like a cutter and a perfect drawer and a lighter and stuff, just kind of woven in different places, like just for emergencies, emergency use only. Forget having it on your key ring.
Who says he doesn't?
Well, that's true. How would we know?
How would we know? Yeah, that's true.
David Leinhelm's not on tonight, is he?
Nah, he's not on. You would know if he was on.
Yeah, I haven't seen a comment from him. I know there's been some shows where he's just kind of stealthed his way in and sat there and watched and probably laughed at us and thought about how stupid we are and then finally commented at the end.
Yeah, he's a bit of stealth.
I did send him a good meme that I saw on social today. He enjoyed it. He posted it to his X account.
Oh, nice.
Oh, man.
Well, this has without question overtaken the Ave Maria Immaculata as my number one Ave Maria.
Yeah.
Oh yes, like no doubt in my mind for me. Like,
definitely.
Easy.
And to be clear, I'm a pretty big fan of the Ave Maria Immaculata. That is a cigar that I would hand to a beginner smoker, and I have done it in the past. Happily hand to them. You know the construction is going to be good. You know the flavor is going to be good. But this Vitola absolutely thrashes it.
Boys, we did an episode where randomly I posed a question to everyone that if you have to pick a blender, who would you pick? And my top name was AJ Fernandez and Don Pepin Garcia. Yeah. And I would say, man, AJ Fernandez he's a freak. He's a freak. A lot of cigars that we liked, it was rolled by AJ Fernandez.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, can't argue.
Absolute freak. Absolute freak.
I'm potentially coming around as well to the same conclusion. Yeah, Stu was telling me all about it. Telling me how scared you were, Tim, how you ran away at the sound of the rifle or something. I can't remember the details, Stu. You'll have to fill us all in. Now, Stu actually told me his recipe for how he cooked the backstrap from that deer. And I'm a little bit jealous. And so soon, we're going to have a big fry up soon. And Omar's got to bring his meatballs.
Yes, sir.
And Stu has got to bring some deer backstrap done the way he showed me. He showed me photos that I laid out with him.
The question is, what sort of deer is it?
It was a fallow.
Okay.
And he did it with dried orange and some tallow that he'd previously used to cook some other things in, and he wrapped in foil and then cooked quite slowly. And I was very, very jealous.
Because I'm quite partial to a chittle. I actually find that deer is very beautiful. And in particular, the one thing I love with chittle is the heart.
Oh.
If it's diced up and fried in butter, it has the most beautiful, natural, almost mushroomy, earthy, musty note to it, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
There we go. Sorry. One of the things I won't miss about the studio is the laptop that runs the internet for me. I'm sure that's the issue. I'm sure that's why I have dropouts from time to time. But anyway, I'll soon know because that laptop's going and I'll be replacing it with something else.
You'll be getting a Mac?
No. Do you remember the bit where I said I don't have money to burn? Yeah. I am spending 3 times more than necessary on a computer.
Yeah, but most people, the average time frame that most Mac users have their laptops is 7 years. You can't say that for PC users. And they're still running the most up-to-date OS on it with no problems.
Hey, listen, I've still got my laptop from 7 years ago. It's in the corner of the room over there gathering dust. And then my laptop from 3 years ago is the one that's sitting on the desk right now. And then my current laptop is upstairs. So I've still got my laptop from 7 years ago. That's easy.
Just not using it.
Well, look, it's there. I don't know why it's there, to be honest. I don't know why I still have it. Okay,
The burn speed slowed down since we hit the second third, I've noticed.
I would agree. I'm also now getting a very distinct flavor shift, the first really distinct flavor shift of this cigar for me. Something's just appeared on the tip of the tongue. There's a white pepper element to it, but there's more. It's a white pepper along with a tang, not a Cuban tang. There's a tang. There's a sharpness. It's not a lemon. Not even sure it's a citrus. It's like a clove, but not as bitter.
I was going to say the celery seed and celery root type of thing. It's less bitter than clove.
Yeah, definitely less bitter. Yeah,
less bitter, and I'm actually getting that as well. I think there's a change. There's a change, but what I'm loving it is the underlying sweetness hasn't left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a cooking show now. So Mr. Stew is saying that the tallow was a home curry flavored ghee that he added in with the backstrap.
Wow.
Dan's going in for the quince note. Ooh, that's different to what I'm getting.
Yeah, different. I'm not on it.
Maybe more of a jam, a quince jam, I would say, like a quince marmalade.
That'd be a pretty intense marmalade, I got to say.
Yeah.
Shades of fennel, Stu. Shades of fennel, but even that's not quite. I really do think it's a clove flavor profile, but as though it was clove mixed with something that just softens the bitterness a little bit.
Which is the sweetness is actually basically toning it down, the bitterness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gorgeous. I'm assuming that flavor change is stem. I'm assuming that that's what's happening. Is it's a long fill cigar, obviously, and we're getting into where the stems are going to be. So I think perhaps we're going to start to get a much more rapid rate of change as we start to get more and more of the leaves beginning to get heavier, the stems beginning to get thicker, and probably more nicotine as well. Not that there's been much up to this point. I don't know about you guys, but no nicotine for me.
No nicotine at all.
Don't ask Omar.
No,
He doesn't
no
even
point.
know what nicotine is.
Yeah, no point.
This is good, man. This is it. This is going up the top, man. This is going up the top rapidly.
I'm trying to find fault with it. I'm sitting here going, as I'm thinking about my own top 10 list.
Yeah.
What's the flaw with this cigar?
You
I don't know. Help me out. Yeah. It still costs money. That's the flaw. That's the problem with this stick. It's not free. I am struggling to find fault with this cigar.
Yeah. You know, that cigar, a lot of things reinstate doubts, right? But that cigar tells you that the world of new cigars have gone way past Cuban cigars.
Yeah.
In every facet, every angle, every way. Going way past Cuban cigars.
Which is a sad thing to acknowledge. I don't disagree. But it's with a note of sadness that I add the fact that Cuban cigars have gone downhill, which is contributing to that reality.
Yes.
We've gone into bat for non-Cubans right from the very beginning of the Cigar Professor.
Absolutely.
And with good reason. But even since we started, I would have to argue that Cubans have gone downhill noticeably, even in just these 4 years.
Yes. And it's getting worse. Mexican version.
Well, in some sense, we probably have the Cuban embargo to thank for the development of New World cigars. If it weren't for the fact that the Cubans were legally cut off from the American market, I would have to assume that the demand probably wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
And the non-Cuban cigar world wouldn't have developed in the way that it has.
Mind you, if Cuba is struggling to maintain supply, and you look at
Yeah.
the amount of cigars that America goes through,
Yeah.
there's no way on earth Cuba would even been able to supply the American market.
Yeah, it's true.
We probably wouldn't seen the development as quick as we have done.
Yeah.
You got to wonder what they would have done. Would they have just been like buying Marlboros in bulk and just splitting open the cigarettes to stuff into their cigars or something just to make up the weight?
Wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, based on what Whiskey Pete's told us, it seems like they're willing to do just about anything to keep the product flowing, regardless of how authentic it is.
Yeah. Well, that's their business. That's their main export.
Mm.
By hook or by crook, they got to keep it going.
I wonder what these would be like with a good.
Maybe you could drop an email to Javier and suggest that they could develop a tobacco industry in Argentina.
A little bit far south, I would imagine. I mean, it's a very, very long country. I mean, up at the top end, it's not that far from Ecuador, so I could be quite wrong. I don't know. I could be quite wrong, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, Ecuador is wonderful growing because it's in the lee of the Andes Mountains, and Argentina is only a bit further south than that. Yeah. I'll make a phone call for you.
Thank you.
What I'm going to say about Stu's question.
Where's the duck? Is that a Duck Dynasty reference?
Probably.
That's a good question. Nice. Well done, Dan.
That's very good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So does that mean before Dan cooks his backstrap, he gives it a full massage session?
That's how he gets the deer in. He doesn't have to hunt them. He just offers like discount deer massages and they just come to him.
Dude, that's the opposite side. I believe there's Iberian Blue Ducks, but yeah.
That ring was a little anemic.
A little bit. But you know what? I haven't seen you blow any, so I don't think you're in a position to criticize. I hate to be the one to point that out, but you know.
Some would say I tend to blow it out my ring.
No comment.
It's interesting when we end up with a cigar where you really just want to enjoy it and not talk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Yeah, he's right. This is way better. Smartest thing he's ever said. Oh, look at them. They look sad. They look like little puppy dogs locked outside on a cold night. I better let them in. I felt sorry for you guys. Well, we have another. We're switching back to cooking show mode. The backstrap was nice. Did it in garlic butter, 2 hours at 140, served with bacon and eggs. Now that sounds like a complete, a balanced diet right there. That is nice. Indeed, Mr. Stew, indeed.
Yeah.
So they're catering for our next live, Herf?
I reckon.
What are you guys thinking?
Well, I know it's hard for you to get away from Sydney, Omar, but I've got a nice balcony. Oh, actually, you know what? It's too late in the year for that. It's already started to get chilly. That'll have to wait till we get to late spring again.
What about fire, bro? Is there a cover on the balcony? Because if there's a cover on the balcony,
Yeah.
then it can work with the fire as long as it has some kind of cover to it.
Yeah, fire pit. Yeah. We could put a fire pit up there. So long as it's a raised fire pit, something with legs or something, that'd be fine.
Actually, you should get one of those column fire pits. You seen those ones?
Yeah. That'd work.
Daniel, you know what's really easy? You know those barbecues that we have that's about table height? And we just use it as a fire pit. You can put a bunch of stuff in it, whether hardwood or cold.
We can put deer on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what I could do is actually use my my spit roast fire pit because it's only a small one and it's only got short legs.
Yeah.
Put that in the middle of my outdoor table because it sits on a wooden table already. It doesn't burn it.
Yeah.
So I put that in the middle of my outdoor table and just have coals just roasting away in that, and we all just sit around that. That'd work.
That would work. Yeah, that would work.
Sounds good.
What about? Do you have a cover?
Yeah, there's a cover. So what I'd do is I'd fire that up with the cover open because it's a fabric cover.
Yep.
And then once the flames are done and it all dies down just to hot coals, then you put the cover over, and that'd be nice. That'd work.
Nice. That would work.
All right. So fine. When can you both come to Albury?
We could try it next month. We could do a May thing.
Whew. All right. Let's have a look. What date is that next month? Because I'm traveling a lot next month.
I could do some meats. I could bring some meats with me.
It's going to be the 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing I haven't got my proper calendar open in front of me, but off the top of my head, there's nothing booked in for that week that will have me out of town. So I'll be around.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's nothing nice covered next door. We'd have it here because we've got the balcony there right next to the kitchen with the view and everything else. We'd have it right there. And because we've got the parkland right behind, if you bring your rifle, the kangaroos might come down. We might get some fresh meat. And look, if there's no kangaroos, there's always bushwalkers. It's like no big deal. Get some white meat.
You'll need your spark suppressor to prevent any accidental bushfires.
No. He'd shoot from the balcony. It's tiled. With safety first. I wouldn't want to.
No, but the boys will know what I mean when I tell them they need their spark suppressors.
Oh, sorry. Yes, yes. I do understand. I think I might have to do an oil change. I might have a couple of spare oil filters lying around.
Very good. You know what? If I didn't know where this cigar was from, and I'm at this point now, I reckon I could almost think that this was a Cuban cigar. It's definitely more Cuban than what the wide Churchill was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just transported into outer space for a second there. I'm back in my smoking lounge now.
You actually need some footage of other people sitting on the lounge smoking cigars in the background.
Well, I could literally just play a video. If I could find a suitable video, I could literally just play a video back there and trip everybody out. If I was blind taste testing this, In all honesty, I would probably end up guessing that it was Cameroon.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly. I'm signing in for that for sure.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful Cameroon, which is not a Cameroon not smoked.
Mm.
And I wouldn't disagree with Demo either. He has more Cuban qualities than most Cuban cigars now.
Yeah. Yeah. Scary.
Mm.
No, you got to get to the point, Stu, where it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where the deer walks up to you and starts to tell you about what the best cuts are for you to have. That's when you know it's really fresh.
I got to question his marksmanship if it was still kicking while he was cutting it up.
Mm.
You'd shot the damn thing twice by then.
Ah.
On the Wednesday, we'll celebrate with a cigar professor on the balcony at my place. What do you reckon?
Let me see what I can wrangle.
I've got a contact who has bragged to me about their amazing hunting lodge and property down the Kiowa Valley, about an hour south of Albury.
Yep.
So come and stage here, stay overnight, dump all the gear that you don't want with you on the hunt, and then go out hunting on their place if they'll I'll hit them up and see what they say, and if they'll let us, we'll go down there. I'll keep the home fires burning while you boys go and get the meat.
Yep.
We'll come back and serve it up to Cigar Professor subscribers who can make the trek to Albury.
That's it. I think it would become very doable if we somehow moved that over a Friday as a one-off thing.
We can do that. I mean, we've got a small subscriber base. We can just let them all know, send them an email, tell them it'll be a Friday.
As long as we can just move it to Wednesday to either Thursday night or Friday night, and then it will be so much more easier to do.
All right.
You know what he's angling for? He's angling for it to be on his birthday weekend.
So you can get a hall pass.
Negative. Out of that game of birthdays. But I'm just thinking because from a work perspective, I could just Thursday is my main day, my market day. I gotta be there. But if I can somehow go over that Thursday after that Friday and Saturday is covered by someone else. So it makes my life so much more easier.
Let me bring up this calendar again.
Dan is in. And Stu is excited.
I'm going to take that as a yes from Stu.
Yeah. Just.
So that's May, June. Yeah, that's a good little passage there. I'm not expecting anything to be happening for me in that week or weekend at this point. Let me double check myself before I wreck myself. Pull up my real calendar. Yeah, so I've got to be what's that? Yeah, so I've got something on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm booked on the Thursday night.
Yeah.
So if you guys came down after work on the Thursday, you could bunk here overnight on the Thursday, go hunting on the Friday.
Yeah, and do a show on Friday night.
Don't you dare come back empty-handed. Or if you need to hunt overnight because the deer are going to be out, you'd hunt on the Friday, come back on the Saturday. We could do the Cigar Professor on Saturday, the 1st of June.
Yeah, done. Locked in. I'm in.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, in. Yeah.
And I'll have some marinated lamb to spit roast as a backup plan in case you boys can't shoot straight.
I can bring you a whole lamb if you want to, dude.
Ooh. My current spit won't take a whole lamb, but then again, I do need to upgrade my spit, so this might be my excuse.
What we could do is also we could just chop the 2 legs and
Well, you got that grass patch outside your property there where you just dig a pit fire and
yeah.
roast it over a pit fire.
I'm sure no one will mind. No one from the council will be bothered in the slightest.
We put Omar there. They won't dare say anything because it's a cultural event.
No, I'll invite Warren Mundine. Get him to come back down to Albury. He loves his cigars.
Okay, well there we go.
And at that point, they really can't touch us.
That's right. That's right. We sit down with Mr. Mundine and we have a bit of yarn. We chew some fat.
It was good. He stayed around after the conference that we had in Albury and smoked cigars on the balcony, and he had a great time. As did we all. We had a great time too. So he'd probably come back for it if I lured him with a good barbecue, good conversation, and some cigars.
Yeah, hell yeah. It sounds like already we are onto something. Let's make it happen. I signed this off.
I'm deeply, deeply disturbed by the way you think. Instead of a turducken, a deer lammin. That is a deeply disturbing mental picture.
We need a third beast in that combo though.
Well, we've got a backup deer from Dan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, boys, if you completely fail in your hunt, just swing past Dan's mate on your way back.
Yeah.
Pick up something from him and then claim credit for it.
That's it. That's it.
I reckon it's going to be cold, though. It'll be chilly out.
I could work with that.
Everyone bring your swags and we can just provide you with a spot of floor to bunk down on.
I dibs the guest bed though.
Nah, I don't know. That might end up just being a bunking room. Like the 7 dwarves all just lined up across the bed. You know, one rolls over, pushes everyone else off.
Yeah, but I'm willing to pay for my bed place in cigars.
Ooh, oh, hello. Let's start a bidding war. Omar, what's it worth to you?
Hey, I'll bring you the lamb, the whole lamb.
Now you got to bring these meatballs, Omar.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm hearing about these legendary meatballs. I'm starting to think they're a fiction. I'm starting to think they don't exist.
They're a very special mixture of different kind of meats. They're not meatballs, but we make patties or keftas with it. But yeah, it's a specialty recipe. I perfected over 2 years, 18 months. Pretty good.
Nice.
Hey, I can play the didgeridoo better than
Warren
most
Mundine?
black fellas do.
There you go. Well, these days they're not allowed to actually really challenge you. If you tell them you are, they can't really tell you that you're not. So, you know.
Well, many years ago, I was up at Katoomba, and there was this Aboriginal man busking and playing the didgeridoo and also selling didgeridoos that he had made there. And I was in the market for a didgeridoo at the time. And I respectfully said to him, I said, look, do you mind if I try playing some of these didgeridoos? And he said to me, can you play? And I said, oh, just a little bit. And he said, oh, okay, just be careful. So, you know, tried one, tried another. Interestingly enough, didgeridoos are not tunable, but every didgeridoo's got its own resonant frequency range, and some people find different didgeridoos easier to play than others, and vice versa.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, so I found one. I'm, giving a good belt. And he looks at me and goes, "You black fella?" I said, "No, I'm not black fella." He goes, "Bullshit, you're black fella." He said, "No white fella play didgeridoo like that." And I said, No. He said, "Who taught you?" I said, "I taught myself." He said, "Bullshit." He said, black fella must teach you that. And I said, no,
Yeah.
no. He said, leave this shit. This is for white fella shit. He said, you come with me. And he took me down the street to his house and opened his garage up. And he said, whatever you want in here. And so I was having a look, and then I found one I liked. And he said, oh, you got good, good pick. And he said, no, put that aside. And he gave me 2 that he hadn't finished making. I said, how much? He goes, mate. He said, you black fella, you take those 2.
Wow.
I got 2 didgeridoos for free from him. So
Well, getting down the business end, it's starting to get sharp. Definitely a bit of a white pepper on the bottom lip and the tip of the tongue now.
I would say, in my particular cigar case, I have been bellowing it very, diligently.
Yeah.
And it's no harshness, no pepper whatsoever.
Yeah,
Zero.
right.
Zero pepper. It's been amazing. Very happy with this one.
I think it's just a nice ramp up in the boldness towards the nub.
Mm.
It's really sort of, finishing off this stick really well.
Glorious. Apart from just a slight wonky burn, it's been effortless. Flavor's been beautiful throughout. We've enjoyed great conversation. It's just everything that you want a cigar to be.
I would say, if I look at the episodes we had, this would be a memorable one in terms of cigar and the cigar discussion. And he's not mocking it, we're just mucking around, but it's just consistently taking us back to cigar. Back to cigar.
Mm. Yeah.
I will give you guys a heads up, though. Not the next stick, but the one after, the one at the end of June. I probably won't be on the show that day because that's one of my scheduled treatment days.
Oh, gotcha.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So that'll be the first stick of the next pack.
All right. Well, I'd be willing to move the show again, but otherwise, yeah, we'll hold the fort and say all the things about you that we can't say to your face. Tim, we didn't even notice. We're just used to you being behind the times, so it just seemed normal.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you being 2 minutes behind is a couple of decades better than usual.
Finally getting that celery note that you guys were talking about.
Speaking of behind the times. All right, I've got to slow down at this point. It's starting to get hot, so I'm just going to really space out the puffs. Oh, look, Tim, it's all in good, friendly love, you know. You're special. That's all. You're special to me, and to your mum, and to your school, and. Oh, well, we're going to have to put some planning into to the get together. Is it time to break out the bingo? We've been talking about it for a while.
We have.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned too many of the bingo words in this episode, though.
I was about to say there is a word that came up a lot for the first 2 years, and I feel like it's fallen out of use, and I'm sad. I'm sad that we don't use it as much as we used to. We used to quite regularly mention the word moist, and it just doesn't seem to come up anymore.
Well, they do say you dry out in old age.
There you are.
You had to go there, didn't you? Yep. Dan picked it. He picked it before I said it.
Moist.
To the bingo, and then it fell off the list of things to do. You have to find like an online bingo generator where I can just put all the words in.
Yeah.
Now, we're not allowed to give away cigars, are we, Damo?
No.
Nah.
Well, we'll have to come up with a prize for whoever wins the bingo. Go back through some of the merch that we've been sent by cigar producers and distributors over the years and see what we can come up with.
That's it.
Yep.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Dan, I might have to get you to show me how to do that, because every bingo sheet has to be different, of course. Beautiful. I've got a lovely bit of atmosphere going in the room, he says as he almost chokes. Nice. And this is just from a single cigar in a decent sized room.
Yeah.
I still reckon the smoke machines they use in concerts should actually, because you can get scented smoke fluids, you know, you can get vanilla and rose and bubble gum and fairy fly, you know, all these different fragrances that they put in the smoke machines. I reckon cigar should be a scent that you can put in a smoke machine and
nice
make cigar scented smoke in a concert. I reckon they'd get on really well.
Stu, just a little life lesson for you. Don't make work for yourself when someone like Dan, the brains of the operation, is trying to make work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I've probably got about a kilo there. I haven't cast into bars yet.
Man, a kilo of that would last you for a year.
Mind you, I'll definitely bring some of that along to the live herf.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be very good.
Tell you what, as an incentive to subscribers to get on down, would you mind packing a couple of unopened boxes of cigars for us to have some good prices on for anyone that wants to restock while they're there?
Yeah.
Can do.
I reckon that'd be good. It cost you a couple of $100 in fuel to get here and back, but you'll save a couple of $100 on cigars.
Yeah.
Just do a nice big restock.
Getting an allspice note now. I'm down at the nub.
Yeah. There's a clearer vegetative note. It's strengthened. It's no longer just a celery. It's a stronger vegetative kind of a note for me now. It's not as good as it was in through the middle, but it's still not bad. And we're right down the business end. Still not bad at all. A lot of cigars that are really nice through the middle. I'm thinking of things like the Rocky Patel Age Limited Rare second editions, etc. They're beautiful cigars, but they turn hard.
They turn hard.
And this just hasn't.
It hasn't turned. It hasn't turned.
I got worried when I got that hit of stem that brought in that clove note for me, but that eased up within a couple of minutes. It's just been beautiful.
It's been beautiful. Here's the thing, Toph. It is definitely making my top 10 list for sure. For sure.
I'd have to give some careful thought to whether it hits the top 5, but I would have to, like, the very fact that I would even consider that tells you just how good this is.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah, fabulous stick.
I think if we were to categorize sticks in different ways, for example, a daily stick versus for an occasion stick, this will make a list top 5 if you start putting sticks like that. This is very good.
And it's a good point because there are sticks that you go, oh yes, this would be a great occasional stick, or this is a great daily, but it wouldn't be one that I would reach for on a special occasion. Whereas there are very few cigars that you would legitimately put on both lists, and this would be a contender for sure.
Yeah, it will make multiple of the list, and I think you make a very interesting point that you can actually give the stick to someone who's not a seasoned cigar smoker, and they would not be like, they'll go, man, this is good.
It's not going to blow them away.
Nah.
With too much flavor or too much nicotine or any of that. Really approachable, really, really approachable, but beautiful, beautiful profile.
Dude, that's the word, approachable. Everyone.
That's why you pay me the big bucks.
Yes. That's why we got you here.
I've got. Yeah. This is what a cigar is supposed to be.
Yeah. And I think it's the only bad thing about this cigar is the only bad thing I pick about this cigar. Annoying thing is that once you have something like that, you're going to be very critical of anything else you're going to have.
Yeah.
That's the only challenge. Once you have those cigars, you go, man, because I can sit there and say Wild Churchill is not always a Wild Churchill that I like. And you chase that and chase that and chase that.
Yeah.
Right? But this is unfortunately not the case.
Man, so good. Oh.
As honest, I try to make things pretty simple. I'm a simple mind. I've always said that for many, many years that I think judging a cigar with the band on it, it's not a deal. It's not a deal for me. I don't call it a deal. You can sit there and say, okay, all the Perdomos are like that, all the Patrons are like that. But this cigar, if you have with or without band or however you have, this is good.
Yeah.
This is just a all-rounded good cigar from every aspect. It hits every single box you can find a cigar. Yeah, having a chat with Cigar Man Sam the other day, and we were sitting down. I said the biggest difference that I see this changes as cigar smoker you get is you start with small Vitolas, you go with the Connecticut's, and then you change it. I go from the all Gordo stuff that no, I need Churchills or Lanceros, that are my favorites, or Robusto. But this, I don't know, is any weakness I can pick in this. There's no such thing.
I've got a weakness. It's nearly gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, still good.
Super good.
Definitely getting it's getting into the marmalades now. It's got a sour twist now that we're right down the very, very depth of it. Not unpleasant, but it's definitely, you're not supposed to You're not supposed to smoke cigars down to this point.
No. And so the marmalade you're talking about is more for the skin part of that. I think that this is a skin part that's holding it, the peel of it.
Yeah, the rind.
Mm.
Well, I don't want it to end, but honestly, this is an hour and a half. The show's been going for an hour and 41 minutes now,
and we didn't slow down at all. We were going for gold. Some cigars you just leave it, but this we were just constantly on it. We were just constantly. Yeah, we didn't set it out, and I think we all are probably the same spot, all three of us.
Yeah,
we just go. I usually slow down, and I didn't want to slow down on this.
No. Have we got more of these in stock, Damo?
We do. I was just looking at that. According to my inventory, we have 38 in stock.
Yeah, right. Well, I tell you what, bring a couple of boxes with you down for next month's Herf.
Absolutely.
If they last that long.
Yeah.
Don't let Omar anywhere near them.
All right. Well, next week. Oh, not next week. Next month.
We have the Johnny Tobacconaut, the one that I incorrectly promised everyone today.
Actually, one thing I didn't show last time is the back of the case.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
So, and they got magnets in the lid. I think I mentioned that last time I was opening it.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to call it quits at that point, but what a magnificent stick. Wow.
Magnificent it is.
Wow. I mean, we've been doing this now for just on 3.5 years worth of actual episodes. And to still be coming across cigars that good is phenomenal. Damo, you've been holding out on us. Where was this stick in pack one? Come on, man.
Can't put all your eggs in one basket.
No, indeed. Can't put all the gems in one pack. Gosh. Well, it's given me a new appreciation for the Ave Maria brand because I was, having tried their 5 main blends in the Morningstar, it really was one of those brands I was like, look, I like them, but they've got one really good stick, which is the Immaculata, and the rest are like, meh, okay. But now I'm thinking I've got to try the other ones in different Vitolas now as well, because what a difference between the Morningstar Vitola and this Vitola in this blend. Massive difference. Absolutely love this one.
What I would say is, just to reflect on what you just said, I'm looking more into AJ Fernandez now. I'm like, dude, this guy, every time, no matter what he touches, he's bringing up good stuff in. It's just a good stuff. It's just a good stuff. He works in several brands, and it's pretty good. Magnificent. That's a word. Topher, that's a word.
Can't argue. Cannot argue. It is a magnificent, approachable cigar.
Mm.
There you go. That's our review. That's the official Cigar Professor review.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always. Wow. It's amazing to think 3.5 years in, we're still unearthing absolute gems like that. What a stick. Well done to you,
I've still got to work out what we're going to put in the next pack yet from what I've got in stock.
Save that, because I know you've planned ahead. You've got about 1.5 years worth of cigars in place for us already. So
yeah, I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more packs.
Yeah, wow. So keep us all in suspense until next show, and then you can bring some along to show those that show up to the live in-person Herf, and blow everyone away with what we've got in store for next pack.
Yeah, well, I'm probably about almost on an hour 40 for this stick for me.
Yeah, you'd be close.
40.
Yeah, amazing.
mind you, you could drag it to 2 hours if you hadn't smoked that consistently. Bang,
Yeah.
bang.
Absolutely.
2 hours. I said
Yeah.
you could easily do 2 hours with that.
Didn't have to touch it up or relight it. It's been burning perfectly.
Yeah, and if you were doing a round of golf, you could sit there while you tee off, and then you'll come back to it. It'll be just fine. It'll be ready to go. Beautiful. Alrighty, gentlemen. Well, we're going to call it there, but fantastic. Thank you for another great show. Keep an eye on your emails, everybody. We will get information out to you regarding this. Suddenly, we've organised an in-person herf at my house, so now I'm going to have to actually do some work for a change, which is never my favourite thing. But anyway, we'll make sure we organise that and get the word out so that you can make your plans and plan to come to Albury on or around. It'll be either Friday the 31st of May or it'll be Saturday the 1st of June. It'll be one of those 2 nights. We'll confirm that with you via email and try and give you plenty of notice to make your plans and come on down. We'll see you for. Look, it's been a while since we've done an in-person herf, so this will be good. Catch up with a few people and look forward to that. So keep an eye on your emails. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time.
Until next time.
See you then.
See you then.